And there have been some amazing sports dynasties in the Chattahoochee Valley, but there's one you may not be familiar with. News 3's Phil Scoggins has their incredible story.
Half a century ago, the Taylor County Lady Vikings basketball team was putting a bow on one of the most incredible runs in sports history. Their streak of 132 straight victories over 5 years still stands in the state record books. There was once a team, and this is their story.
There's a familiar echo emanating from the small town of Butler in Taylor County, Georgia. The sound can be traced to a nostalgic gymnasium still in use on school grounds not far from the town square. A peek inside the unique arched entrance reveals a basketball court with a history as rich as the surrounding farmland. This was the home court of the vaunted Lady Vikings of Taylor County High School. During a 5-year stretch from 1967 to 72, they never lost a game on this floor. Just imagine the countless cheers soaked up by these walls as those Lady Vikings reeled off a state record 132 consecutive wins on their way to 5 straight state championships. The scoreboard that illuminated their margins of victory frozen in time. The original goals, a fond reminder of the thousands of points that swished the nets. The original wooden bleachers still stand watch over the court, notched with the names from half a century ago. One of the former players from that era feels right at home in this gym. Bunny Fuller Harris has written a book about the Lady Vikings' remarkable run with the help of her daughter, Katie. It's simply entitled, There Was Once a Team.
How did we do it? I don't know. We had a spectacular coach is the main reason. We had a run of good players. We had people who really cared about playing basketball, motivated by Coach Carter. And we had strategy. We had some luck along the way too.
That coach she's referring to is Norman Carter. He's 83 years old and lives in Carrollton, Georgia. After receiving his degree from Mercer, Carter came back home to Taylor County to coach the game he loved. Through his first 6 years, he led both the boys and girls programs to state championships. In 1967, he was appointed principal of Taylor County High School, giving up the boys' team to just coach the girls. The next year, he was elected school superintendent.
And when I came in, we had a winning streak of about maybe 55 games. And so I asked the Board of Education if it would be permissible for me to coach until we lost. And so 3 years later, I finally got to quit.
But not before leading the Lady Vikings on a winning streak that still stands in the record books 50 years later. When it comes to Coach Carter's coaching style, Bunny says the girls had a healthy fear of him.
Because he was strict, but yet you knew he cared for you deeply. He was just a great motivator in that he could bring out the best in you. He gave you self-confidence as a young adolescent girl.
I was not a lovable coach, I was a respected coach. And I don't think you can be both. I say I was blessed to have a lot of girls that were good students. They had a lot of character, and they just happened to be good athletes.
Bunny Fuller was among the very best.
The greatest player I ever coached, without a doubt.
The Lady Vikings overcame some incredible obstacles on their historic journey. First of all, the game itself changed. When their winning streak started in 1967, girls played 3-on-3. The forwards who shot the ball on one end of the court, the guards on the other. Neither could cross the center line. That eventually gave way to 5 players per team playing full court. Another huge challenge arose with integration during the 1970-71 school year.
The first game of the year, you can imagine the blacks and the whites being together, first time, first basketball game. So, in the first quarter, my best black girl, and she was a terrific player, turns her ankle. So I go out on the court, I pick her up myself and carry her off that court. And I did it because I wanted people to know that we were united now.
And what the Lady Vikings did on the court that season proved it. They won all 30 of their games, keeping the winning streak intact. Heading into Bunny's senior year, the girls had won 124 games in a row. They started off the season with 8 straight wins to reach 132 consecutive victories. Then came January 4th, 1972.
We had played Perry earlier in the season here in this gym. It was packed to the rafters, and we barely won that game. Then the first game after Christmas of 1972, we went to Perry to play. And things didn't go our way in the game.
They saw their comfortable halftime lead dwindle in the second half.
You can always make excuses for anything, but Bunny fouled out. Then Shirley, my other great forward, fouled out.
Perry pulled off the biggest upset in school history, coming from behind to knock off the Lady Vikings 53-48 and end the streak.
We went immediately to the dressing room, and I just remember being numb, like, what has happened? And I still get emotional. I don't know why, with it being 50 years ago, but it was a moment in my life that was something that had never happened before. It was very important to me. I wanted to be one of the ones who had never lost a game, but that didn't happen.
Coach Carter recalls what he told them after that gut-wrenching loss.
We won like champions, we're going to lose like a champion.
And then he said, would you like to go over to the other dressing room, congratulate those girls? And we said yes. We lived through it, and then the next part of the story, we decided we were going to continue on and win state, and we did. A lesser team probably would have just folded, but we didn't let that happen.
Coach Carter was inducted into the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 2008. His collection, donated to the museum in Macon, includes 2 jerseys. One belongs to Bunny.
I know when I was inducted in the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame, I made a statement, and I still believe it. I was a pretty good coach, but I was a better judge of character.
There was once a team, and now you know a lot more about them. Thanks to Bunny Fuller, her daughter, and their book, those magical years have been relived and preserved for generations to come. To find out how to get a copy of There Was Once a Team, just head to this story on our website, WRBL.com.